everybody? It's Mr. Credentialed. I would like to welcome you back to my channel. I was tagged in a tag video, and this is what this video is going to be. Thank you, Captivating, for going ahead and involving me in that. I know I'm a little late, but let's go ahead and get started. The first question is, are you religious? I would have to say yes. Religious, yes. Judgmental, no. I believe that there are a lot of good things that you can take away from religion. There are a lot of things that you can learn. I believe that everyone should have a belief system outside of themselves, whatever belief system you decide to go along with is your choice. But I do have a firm background in Christianity, and having said that, I've always believed in it. I believe what I said, I mean what I saw, I believe what I've read, and I know what I've seen manifest in my life personally. And as a result of that, I just can't overlook the miraculous things that I've seen happen into my life as a result of prayer and belief. Next question. Do you believe in marriage? Well, yes, I do. Actually, I'm engaged to be married, and we've been dating for a few years now, and we've known each other for nearly 10 years. So I believe in marriage not just because of the typical, well, we know each other, let's do something. I believe that you, along with the other person, can grow and you can accomplish a lot of things and grow to new heights, new levels, and there gets to a point in your life where you get tired of like running around and playing. So yes, I do believe in marriage. I do believe that children are better off in a full-fledged household. Not to say that children, because I did not grow up in that type of household. My household was divided, but I do believe that it's better for children to do so. The next question: define love. The definition for me of love is looking into yourself and just giving out what you have inside of yourself to someone else. Because the love that you offer to your friend is going to be different from the love that you offer to your mate or your family member. So ultimately, the definition of love for me would be to have a deep expression of care for someone else by the things that you do, the things that you say, and the way that you treat them. That is my ultimate definition of what love is. The next question: do I believe in capital punishment? Yes, I do, if the crime is so fitting. The reason why I say that is one, I've written one or two papers in school about capital punishment earlier on, and just based upon what I see in everyday life and what I've researched in those papers, it just leads me to believe that no, every crime is not equal to capital punishment, if you will. But I do believe that there are some crimes that if you were worried about your life, you would not have not committed those crimes. And if you took a life to that extent, then maybe it should be capital punishment should be something that should be looked into. I'm not like go straight forward, but I am definitely for the cause of capital punishment. The next question, sorry about that. Okay. All right. So the next question is, are you pro-life or pro-choice? I am pro-choice. We all have our personal lives and we do make mistakes and we do make decisions that we may not be able to handle in that moment. So I do believe that it is a choice that someone should have. I do not believe that it should be utilized as a extracurricular activity. However, be responsible and think about your body. So that's my thoughts on that. The next question is, how do you feel about spanking a child? I'm a child who has been spanked, and I do believe that if you don't need to like hurt the child or do anything that is too damaging to them, but I do believe that corrective action should be put into play when it's necessary, just for the sake of you learn that if I do that, this is the consequence. And not having consequence, you're more likely to do things that you had no business doing versus if you know the consequence behind it. So yes, I do believe in spanking for building a criteria that you set up in life so your children will know that they just can't go by getting along just based on because saying that I didn't do it and it's just okay. because that's not how life works. I think it builds character, if you will. The next question, how do you feel about women are too emotional to run this world? That is a question that is really hard for me to answer, but I will do it. I think that is a very subjective topic. Every woman is not to be viewed the same. Every woman is not emotional. Every woman does not have the same issues or characteristics of another woman. So I don't believe that women are too emotional to run the world. I think that if they were to, if the emotions are an issue for them and they were to get their emotions in check, then they will be able to be capable just as the next woman or just as the next person or man to run the world. The next question is, how do you feel about hashtag Black Lives Matter? I think it's a movement now knowing, but I think that it's a movement that has some skewed things to it, just knowing who supposedly created the movement. I think that is important to bring awareness to Black Lives Matter, but at the same time, I feel like your life should matter at the same time or in conjunction with the next person. So I know that we, as Black people, have our own struggles that we have been through and that we continue to face every day. So I do not want to discredit that at all. But at the same time, I believe that you can express that Black Lives Matter without having a hashtag or without having a protest. You know, just the way that you live your life and the person that you are will then determine how much lives matter. And I think that even with that, it shouldn't really matter how you live your life or what you do. Even if you're wrong, your life should still matter. You know, so that's how I feel about it in the long and the short of it. Okay. So, next question. What's the difference between being black and being African American? Well, that depends on if we want to go by the textbook definition or if we want to go by what some of us may feel. I believe that being African American is something that has been enforced upon us by having to check a box. Is this, are you African American? Are you Caucasian? Are you white? I think that that's really where that came from because most of the people in the black community consider themselves to be black. I believe that the African American portion came from having to check the box. I do also feel that it's a way to include people that may not fit it. But the first thing I think about as African American is someone who grew up in Africa or who was born in Africa, who was then brought into America, which then makes them African American. I'm not going to say I don't understand, but I'm just going to say I don't necessarily see directly the correlation between a black person and African American. But that's another long story for a whole nother topic and a whole nother day. So that's the general baseline of which I stand on that. The next question, and it's actually the final question, is if you happen to win the lottery, would I stop doing YouTube? No, I wouldn't stop doing YouTube because my purpose for being here is about mental health. So having money and if I ran off with having money, it really would say to me that I'm not interested in mental health. I'm interested in it because right now it's affecting me, or I think that I can utilize this as an avenue to, um, let's see, to impose upon people, if you will, and try to get subscribers and likes. And that's not what I'm here for. I'm actually here because I care about the community. I care about people who are unable to afford to care about themselves, and the information that I'm bringing could help them bring awareness and get the help that they need, or at least start off with a foundation, and then when they are able to do so financially can get themselves into a better place. So no, if I won the lottery, I would not quit my job, I would not quit YouTube, I would not change my life. I would actually do the smart thing. I may take a little financial break and do something special for myself, but primarily I would want to use that as a resource to become a better person versus it making me upon the status quo of he has money and now he's just totally changed. it's not about what other people say, it's really about how you live your life. And again, I can't stress that enough. So that is the end of the tag video. Again, thank you, Captivating, for tagging me in this video. It gave me something to embark on that allows people to get to know a little bit of my foundation outside of mental health. And it's been fun. Again, tagging Story Time with Shay Johnson, or Shay Johns, I'm sorry, forgive me for mispronouncing your last name. And for right now, I'm just gonna leave it at that. And I hope that you all enjoyed this video, that you learned something from it, and I hope that you all have a good rest of your day or night whenever you happen to watch this video. All right, later.